Hey guys, in this video with the new account stuff I've been doing, we're going to be going to some of the time-limited EX bosses that are currently available. We're going to start with the Holy Beast of Yevon Reborn. We're going to be going to the hard mode version. This is a aquatic dragon that is only weak to water. It does petrify and single target physical on turn 1. The missions are no items, 2 turns or less, party of 4 or less. Because I'm on a newer account, we're not going to be able to do all missions at once, so we're going to go for just the 2-turn clear, and then we're going to go back with a 4-man party that slow clears it. But for now, we're going for a 2-turn clear. So this is the party we're going to use. We're going to be using Dark Fina for preemptively buffing LB damage. We're going to be using Elena for just support chaining. We're going to be using Olive for doing LB twice in a row. Nicole is our water support. And Roberta is our killer and to refill LB gauge. Now, because there's a little bit of RNG involved with this, because I kind of have to do it that way to do the way I'm doing it, I'm going to cut the video here real quick, and then I'm going to do it, you'll see when RNG lines up, because I kind of need variance and all that. So this is pretty tricky to do on a really new account. Anyway, see you in a moment. Alright guys, let's give it the first attempt. So you'll see what I was talking about in the intro about needs a little bit of variance and all that. So to start off, we need more LB gauge on Roberta because mine's not EX2. So we need Nicole to imbue the party and then double flood to imperil, as well as get some crystal drops. Now we need at least 1 crystal to go on Roberta. Alright, we got it. Alright, so Roberta is now going to Aqua Killer, Support from the Skies for Mirage, and Draconic Triune. Now we're going to use LB on Olive. Elena will do Double Gemini and Star Supernova. And Fina will do Triple 9 Serpent. Now, we're going to click Roberta first for the killer. Then, a moment later, Olive, before the Roberta's triple cast finishes, we're going to do Olive's LB. Then Roberta's final cast will refill Olive's LB, and we'll be good. So here we go with this. Wait just a moment. This, and then we wait to cap. And okay, very nice. And that refilled LB. Now here's the single target damage. It's Mirage stuff and then Petrify. Everyone's immune to Petrify except Dark Fina. If Dark Fina had been chosen for Petrify, we would have had to just retreat. But she wasn't, so that's okay. So now we need... okay, it looks like we got a lot of crystals on Olive. I was going to use Draconic Triune again to refill Olive's LB. She got it naturally, which means we can actually use the LB of Roberta for a bigger LB damage buff. Yeah, so we're good to go. So now we can just triple Gemini and cap again. So we're going to have Olive go off first, wait, and then cap it. And that should be our 2-turn clear handled. It is. Okay, there we go. Now we have to go back for a 4-man clear. So I'll go ahead and show you the party and the gear and all. So Roberta's gear is literally irrelevant. Some LB fill helps, but Call of the Wild is important, as well as if you can fit it, 100% fill rate. That way all she needs is 1 crystal drop to get her 10 LB cost, so we can do Aquatic Killer, because it does cost 10 LB to cast that. Nicole is just status immune. I gave him Provoke to try to eat the Petrify. Other than that, he's just for water support. Now, my Flood is not enhanced, so it's only 100 in peril. If I enhance it, it'd be up to 135, but it costs a lot of crystals. And same thing with the Water Infusion. But the Water Infusion at rank 1 still does 30 amps, that's all we really need. Olive is really high magic, so here's the build. The only undead killer I own is Conquering Fear of the Spirits, and her own card, and she's got maxed LB damage and 75 Reaper Killer. I really got to go get more Espers, because I have no killers from Espers. Elena is using a double-handed gun build, because we're doing Gun in Peril from whatever the girl's name is. Unfortunately, that means she doesn't have chain cap up and all that, but, I figured it was more damage than Actually, it wouldn't be because, well, whatever. Too late. I guess dual wield would have been better, technically speaking. Anyway, here is the build we used, and we've got no killers. I think she has no undead killer. Yeah, no undead killer. Sad face. And then Fina is just support chaining. She's really only here because she preemptively buffs preemptive buff all. At the start of battle, she does AoE 200% LB damage as a free action at the start of the battle. So that's really helpful for getting Olive's LB on turn. Well, not getting her LB, but using her LB on turn 1. Anyway, there was our 2-turn clear, so I'm going to go ahead and adjust the party in just a second. And then I will I'll adjust the party, and then I'll go back for the 4-unit clear, but we're going to do a slower clear. So there we go, and there was our 3,000 lapping. Alright, so see you in just a moment. Alright guys, next up we're going to be going to the same fight, this time with a 4-man party. Because it's a 4-man party, we have to take it a lot more carefully, meaning we're going to be dropping the water support, going off element, which is a huge damage penalty, but it's got to be done, basically. So Beatrix is going to be our cover tank. She's going to start off with cover and oh, we need provoke too. Okay, so we're going to cover and oh, we don't need cover turn 1. So we're going to do that and provoke. All right, Sylvie will mitigate, and compassionate for the status immunity. Let's see. We're going to fire imbue. I guess we can support from the skies and then mega breath, and then Olive will start off with breaking. Aquatic. So we can do a killer at least. Gunner. And Focus will do her LB next turn to cap a little bit. Okay. Some signal target. This turn should be no damage at all because we're going to Mirage it as well as... Yeah. Perfect. Alright, let's go ahead and cover and do, I guess, a Shelga. Let's go ahead and Mystic 4 times and use LB. Let's have Sylvie do offense, compassionate, and resolve. Alright, so we'll go ahead and Olive, and then Roberta. And this is probably not going to be great damage. Oh, surprisingly, it was not that bad. Okay. Wow. Interesting. Anyway, maybe I overestimated how much damage we need. But okay. So we're gonna do this, cap, and this. All right. So a little bit of chaining damage in here. Cap damage. That was fine. We can use Beatrix to... No, we can't do that yet. We need to provoke and mitigate again. Sylvie can... Let's go ahead and defense. Compassionate twice for the mana restore. Because Beatrix's unenhanced mitigation is very mana expensive. Okay, this is going really well. Alright, so SLB time. So we're going to click this, then click the SLB, and it should mostly chain. It broke a little bit, but that's okay. And there it is, 4 turns. Not bad at all, not bad at all. And there's our 4-man clear for the last mission of the Evrae fight. Alright. I'll show you the gear and all, but I think I kind of went overboard on the protections and all. We probably didn't even need Beatrix, completely honest here. I think we could have just used mitigations from Sylvie and just not covered the magic. But, I was kind of worried about the magic damage. Maybe unnecessarily. Anyway, let me show you the setup. So, Olive and Roberta mostly didn't change gear. I swapped a little bit of gear in Roberta. Once it loads, I'll show you what we've got going on here. So, yeah, Olive's gear didn't change from the last run, exact same. We've got, oh yeah, it did change Roberta. So a double hand gun build with Roberta. She has 6 times chain cap naturally while double-handed. Oh, I never did Aqua Killer, did I? I don't think I did. Oh well. And then just a freebie card. Showed you already. Base form, Obsidian Bracer, Beatrix. Shift form is some defense and spirit. Here's the build, and then just a spirit card. And then Sylvie's kind of whatever. She's just bulk. And there it is. Okay, there was the last mission for that. Let me go ahead and do those 2 summons that I just got. Alright, we'll go ahead and claim those rewards. And we got some tickets. Let's use them and get ourselves a Neo something. Maybe, potentially. Or Mastermind Zahn would be top tier. From the Rainbows. Yeah, Mastermind Zahn would be flawless. Okay, second Aerith and a Sweet Luca. Not really what I was looking for, but okay, whatever. A second Aerith is nice because her STMR is amazing. And then the blue one. And Xiao. Okay. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and adjust the team and try some other bosses. See you in a moment. Alright guys, next up is the Creeping Malice EXT fight. Now for this one, I didn't really want to rely on a custom built friend, but because it ambushes with crazy water and ice damage, and I don't have the resistance gear or the preemptive cover tank to handle that, I'm gonna have to use a friend. So for the no KO mission, I was actually able to do 2 out of 3 missions and just have people die on the ambush and revive them, but that fails the mission, and I don't love that. So we're grabbing a custom built magic tank. Now this is my unit, but the friend unit that I built for this is 180 to ice and water, but I geared her like generically, so relatively cheap whatever stuff. There it is, mostly free stuff, and that's going to be our cover tank for this fight. Preemptively cover the ambush. That way, we don't have to have any deaths. We can get all missions. I actually was able to gear Sylvie to immunity with ice and water, but that meant we had deaths, and she revived on turn 1, and it was fine. But yeah, I don't really want to have deaths. Anyway, that allows us to handle that. So Roberta got berserked. If anyone critical got berserked, we could have just retreated and came back in, but no one critical got berserked, so we're fine. So we're going to go ahead and just LBU. Sylvie is going to do some resistance buffs and an immunity buff. We're going to have Olive do the breaks, Aqua Killer, Gunner, and Giant Melon. Fina can just do a resist buff, and Friend Tank can do cover. And that's all that really matters. I guess Deep Sea Sanctuary. Just don't provoke. We want the provoke to go to Runda. Alright. So the Berserk is only 1 turn, so it'll be gone now. Some more attacks. Some magic stuff and some drains. Totally fine. Alright, so we're going to use Roberta to do kind of similar to what we just did a moment ago. We're going to Aquatic, we're going to Support, and then we're going to Triune. And then we're going to cap with you. Runda will triple Laser. Dark Fina will triple 9 Serpent Strike. We're going to imbue offense Lightning with Sylvie. And then, I don't know what else. I guess Resolve, because whatever. Okay, so again, we're going to click Roberta, and then a moment later, we're going to click Olive. So Roberta, wait, Olive, and then wait, and then we cap. And this should deal a decent chunk of damage. And because Roberta filled the LB gauge halfway, we can fill it the rest of the way now. Alright. We actually might not even need Roberta to fill the rest of the way. So here's some attacks. Our magic cover tank. If I had like a good preemptive cover tank, we'd be totally fine here. But I don't. So we're going to use the cover tank to just fill LB gauge so I can save Roberta's cooldown. And there we go, so we can LB again. We'll have Roberta refresh Aqua Killer, Mega Breath, and then I guess Ignitos, because why not? So we'll go ahead and cap yet again. Now this cap might even potentially kill the boss. If so, great. If not, we'll kill it next turn. Not quite. Not a problem. Now we don't have mitigation anymore, so we're going to use mitigation with Sylvie. Let's go ahead and refresh some immunity buffs. And nothing else really matters. I guess we can do defense because why not? I think this turn is dark damage. If so, we're covering it with a magic tank. Who cares? Yeah, dark damage. Yeah, this event is super, super easy if you have a magic cover tank. If you don't have a magic cover tank with preemptive cover, it's a lot harder. So we're going to go ahead and Mystic Breath with you, SLB with you, and Cap with you. So we click, click, chain, and there's the end of the boss. No death, 7 turns or less, and no items. Okay, and I showed you the gear on the friend. I'll go ahead and show you the gear on my team. Roberta is just using generic. This is like mostly whatever gear because no one takes damage. It's got the cover tank. So here's some stuff with Sylvie. We've got Obsidian Bracer on her. Olive is damage. Crucifying for a demon killer, and then Runda is passive provoke, and he's got his stuff. And then Dark Fina is just support chaining, and then the friend or the magic cover tank. The only thing that really matters is preemptive cover and 180 ice and water. And there it is. All missions on the Mindflayer Obscura. And as far as the daily version goes, it's very, very easy. It doesn't ambush with that craziness. It does ambush, but not nearly as powerful. And it doesn't berserk or anything like that. So it's just, you know, going there with a little bit of bulk, a preemptive break, and you'll take like hardly any damage, and you just OTK it on turn 1, turn 2, whatever. Anyway, there was that one. Now I need to try to figure out a party to do the Guardian fight in Final Fantasy X only limited time EX battle. I'm terribly explaining this. Let's see, where is it? Come on, game. This fight. The Machina, Protector of the Ruins. That one is only Final Fantasy X units, which is going to be very challenging. I will work on it, and when I figure it out, I will get back to you. See you then. Alright guys, last up in the video is the Final Fantasy X boss. I tried a few things, and I figured out a way to do it in all missions. So the guy is a machine, only weak to, if I remember correctly, yeah, lightning, water, and light. It does gravity damage and some physical stuff. No items, no continues, no KOs, only Final Fantasy X units. So we're going to be using the Yuna we got for free. We're going to be using the Kamari you buy from the currently active Mog shop. The Titus you get from the currently active Mog event. The Waka you get from the currently active Mog event. And the Jekt you get from the currently active Mog event. This is a team that literally everyone that does the event has. So let's give it a go. It's a little bit tricky because mana is the major problem for this clear, but I'll show you the gear and all at the end. So we're going to start off with Waka using his LB to break the boss. Kamari is going to use Reflex for double Mirage. Yuna can just guard turn 1, we don't need anything from her. Jekt is going to do triple Jekt Flood, and then Titus is going to do triple Bolting Strike. Now notice none of my skills are enhanced because they cost enhancement crystals, which I don't have a ton of. So we're going to go ahead and just chain this up. A little bit of damage. Honestly, the majority of the damage is going to be Titus's SLB on turn 5, but we're gonna chip in a little bit. So here's some gravity fixed damage, and then some AoE physical. That is going to be Mirage. I think the gravity ignores provoke, but we don't really care who gets it. So Yuna is now going to double cast just Kurega to keep the party nice and healthy. Kamari will double Mirage again. We're going to guard Jekt because he has horrible mana problems. And Waka is going to triple Stardust Ray with our Titus, who does a little bit better with Stardust Ray chaining, so not that one. Actually, yeah, let's do one Get Pumped and then a double Actually, you know what we're going to do? We're going to do... Oh, he can't imbue light. Okay, so 1 get pumped and a double Stardust Ray. Yeah, that works fine. Anyway, let's go ahead and chain these guys up. A little bit more damage. So we are again double miraging the physical, and the fixed damage that bypasses evade and all that is gravity. It won't kill anyone. Haymaker is the physical that we're double miraging. Now some of them will hit, as you can see, but if we're miraging 2 out of 3, it's relatively fine. So this turn we're going to have Titus do again double Stardust and an Energy Rain. Waka will triple Stardust Ray yet again. We're going to use Jex LB, even though it's basically terrible. We're just going to do it just because it's something to do. It's like super, super slow. And now we'll go ahead and chain this up. I probably didn't cap that right. Or I did, because Jex LB is garbage. Anyway, it's something. Whatever. Buried it. Oh, actually, it did a decent chunk. Let's go ahead and reload this. Now, this turn, Waka's SLB is going to be ready, which is actually unfortunate. I wish his SLB wasn't a thing, but it is, so you got to deal with it. So we're going to go ahead and just use his SLB that does no damage at all. We're going to reload these double Mirage, double Kurega. Titus is now going to chain with Jet, so this time Bolting Strike, because, you know, Daddy doesn't have Stardust Ray, only Bolting Strike. So we're going to go ahead and chain these guys up. Wait for Waka's SLB to finish. We don't want to break that chain. Go ahead and chain this up. A little bit of chip-in damage. Next turn, we're going to be getting the big boy damage with the SLB on Titus. Alright, some more attacks. We mirage most of them. The rest of them hit the party. The gravity damage we can ignore. Alright, SLB on Titus, finally, turn 5. Alright, let's go ahead and just double Mirage and Kurega just in case. Let's SLB. Waka will triple Bolting Strike with our Ject. So we're going to triple Bolting Strike. And we're going to hope that I properly cap this SLB. It's a little bit tricky to time, but we're going to try. So it's really slow. So once he jumps, we're going to go ahead and chain it up. And boom, got it. Okay, that was nice. That was nice. So a little bit more for chaining. It will be good here. We've got double Mirage. We've got healing. There's some gravity damage. Some AoE Haymakers. We Mirage the majority of them. Now at this point, the boss's brakes are wearing off, but we should be okay. We're gonna go ahead and just guard. We'll use Jex LB. Maybe we'll get lucky and we'll properly cap it. We're gonna go ahead and double Stardust and Energy Rain. Waka will triple Stardust Ray. We can go ahead and just reload these guys. We'll use Jex LB, and we'll wait about a week and a half. Then we'll send our chainers. And somewhere in there, Jex should cap. There it is, all missions. So we did no items, no continues, and no deaths with a incredibly basic team using totally starter gear. Yeah, so definitely anyone can do this. Again, you get Titus EX1 guaranteed from the Mog event. Just go farm the Mog shards. Kamari is in the Mog shop. He's double Mirage. Yuna is in the mail. Titus obviously carries that, so there it is. The hardest problem was mana regen, but we had it. I'll do this Neo pull in 1 second. I'm gonna show you the gear first, and there's our EX1 Yuna. Now another option is to wait 10 days and get Yuna's EX1 from the login shards. Then you can shift Yuna and use her to cap as well. That'll be a decent chunk of damage, assuming you have some evocation gear. But there it is. All right, let me go ahead and claim that Neo Vision reward. And if we're lucky, we'll grab a second Sylvie so we can Brave Shifter. Wouldn't that be awesome? Anyway, let me show you the gear real quick. So Yuna is just using some Spirit gear, a little bit of defense and bulk. So a little bit of defense at her big 464. Anyway, Obsidian Bracer to auto break, some HP, some Spirit, and she just double cast Kurega every single turn to keep us topped off. Kamari is just some MP and HP. He does double Mirage every single turn, and that's basically it. His double Mirage is Reflex, lets you avoid 2 stacks of Mirage on the party. Titus is using his Cattle Bulg, which you get from the special coins. Other than that, totally free gear. Mask of Assurer from a trial, Segure from the story, the 2 accessories from the story, Miracle Magic from a quest. Okay, we are using 1 TMR, but whatever. Restraint from a quest. Oh, and we're using the Indestructible Light from the free lightning you get from the panel quest. He does have innate 6 times chain cap at EX2, so if your Titus is EX2, you don't need chain cap up. And then, okay, it is a decent card, but you could have used a free card. Waka is just whatever, kind of whatever. As you saw, Waka and Jek did basically 0 damage. So, honestly, LB fill and mana regen is all that really matters. There we go. And then Jekt is technically geared for damage, mostly a support chainer. A little bit of MP, but he's garbage. He's total garbage. And this is the card you could have used on Titus if you don't have the, a better card. Anyway, there was the all mission clear. Let's go ahead and do a poll real quick. First, do I have any EX tickets? I do not, so we're going to go ahead and do a guaranteed Neo pull, and we're going to walk away with another Sylvie. And if that actually does happen, people are going to accuse me of being like rigged or something, but it's just RNG. And it is blah. Wasted slot. Total waste. Total waste. Noctis does absolutely nothing for us. He's terrible these days. And why am I getting 1 billion Scorpion cards? OMG. Anyway, we got our first Noctis. He never got his upgrades on Global, so super worthless. Anyway, there was all the EX bosses that are currently time limited on a brand new account that's like less than a week old. Hope it helps. See you for the next part later.